Good day, viewers and listeners. I'm your host, Lennox Gasper, and welcome to Progress Report. In this episode, you will hear from the newly elected president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, Kester Hudson. Hudson's signal how GCCI is leading in support of Guyana as an investment destination.
Let me just make it very open that part of my mandate as the president, and simply because we have such a large and we're growing rapidly in our membership, it's to definitely connect with each member to understand and ensure that they're having value as being part of the membership. Because a lot of times we don't really focus on retention, and I want to definitely zoom into that a little bit more. Now, the Chamber has 11 subcommittees, one of which is Green Economy. A subcommittee to that is Agriculture Committee. The next committee is Construction and HSSE Committee. And the Chamber would have thought it best to establish these committees simply because of what is happening, and we need to support the administration of the day. Given the fact that the country is on this trajectory of growth and development in these specific areas that you mentioned, we definitely, in our onboarding of members, we encourage them to first be part of those committees where you have a plethora of information being shared amongst the members, because of if they're having challenges, that can be sorted out in there. And it's mostly knowledge sharing that we're doing. And this is through engagements with the relevant stakeholders, webinars, and presentations, pretty much. Because ensuring that we have information is what is key, is going to drive businesses into a higher level of their development. In our onboarding of members, we encourage them to first be part of those committees where you have a plethora of information being shared amongst the members, because of if they're having challenges, that can be sorted out in there. And it's mostly knowledge sharing that we're doing. And this is through engagements with the relevant stakeholders, webinars, and presentations, pretty much. Because ensuring that we have information is what is key, is going to drive businesses into a higher level of their development. Having said that, we're having a lot of interest of international and regional companies coming to the Chamber to inquire how they can be part of the development in Guyana. And in doing so, it's commonly called delegations that are being formed. And this is in the form of chambers from specific countries that will certainly reach out to us and say, oh, hey, we want to be part and we want to engage your membership, because we understand that you guys are doing what is best right now, and we want to be part of that process. So we ensure that we have B2B meetings with these companies, and with that, doing joint ventureship, because essentially that's what we want to establish. Both parties will benefit from this process, and not just have a company come in, set up, and there's no knowledge transfer, there's no development for the local companies. Of course, there's some semantics with this in terms of local content, and this is just an extension of what it is. The Chamber has to promote business in Guyana and provide the necessary resources for our members as we develop. So as much as possible, we can expose our members and provide information to them is what we are endeavoring to do. part of my deliberations now is to have courtesy calls with the relevant stakeholders, especially the government agencies and ministers, to understand what their plans are, right, during my tenure, and how we can facilitate and collaborate to ensure that you have a smooth development and ensure that our members can benefit from this significantly, especially from the policy standpoint. We want to ensure that the members are comfortable. We want to grow Guyana, and it can't be done in isolation. It can't be done with just the public sector or the administration of the day doing what they think that is important. They understand and they recognize over the years that the business community is deemed as the engine of growth, and so it is important to have the buy-in from the private sector at all times. And so we advocate for that. We reach out to GRA, we reach out to the Attorney General's office in terms of policy, we reach out to so many other organizations that we consider as vital for our mere operations. And it helps us to plan, and again, it comes back to information. Without information, nothing happens. So I'm saying this to say, we are always engaging and seeking information to see how best we can facilitate and add value to what we have right now. Because of course we have to play a part in getting the incentives that we seek. Given the fact that Guyana is at the point where it's taking off, I think that this is a prime time for investment into our nation. You have the opportunity as an advanced country to come in, to scope out, to see how best you can contribute to the development and advance in an environment that you consider as a virgin, right, territory. Because we're still growing, and we appreciate this. What we also would like to experience as business leaders is faster way of doing business, of telecommunication, of processing, whatever transactions it is. And so I don't really see it to or categorize it to a monetary item, but also look at the intrinsic values that you add as a business to this economy. And so I'd want to encourage investors to have an open-minded approach towards investment in Guyana. We understand where we are, but we are also willing to work with and adapt to the changes that needs to be to take us to the higher heights. So I would say, please come in, engage our local businesses, be part of the process, and let us grow Guyana together. Given the fact that Guyana is at the point where it's taking off, I think that this is a prime time for investment into our nation. You have the opportunity as an advanced country to come in, to scope out, to see how best you can contribute to the development and advance in an environment that you consider as a virgin, right, territory. Because we're still growing, and we appreciate this. What we also would like to experience as business leaders is faster way of doing business, of telecommunication, of processing, whatever transactions it is. And so I don't really see it to or categorize it to a monetary item, but also look at the intrinsic values that you add as a business to this economy. And so I'd want to encourage investors to have an open-minded approach towards investment in Guyana. We understand where we are, but we are also willing to work with and adapt to the changes that needs to be to take us to the higher heights. So I would say, please come in, engage our local businesses, be part of the process, and let us grow Guyana together. I can only do one thing, and it's to promote Guyana. To promote Guyana in a very big way in terms of investment. Our agriculture sector definitely is still, it's a staple in Guyana, and we certainly want to build out on it. There's so many things that has to be done with the agriculture sector. I know the minister, Mustafa, would have embarked on expansion project, and this is throughout the segment to deal with the homogeneous type farming to advance and using technology. We want to complement that by, and that's the reason why we established the Agriculture Committee to support and provide information again to this sector. We understand where Guyana is right now. We understand where the region is right now. Guyana was once called, and still is, the breadbasket, And again, His Excellency President Ali would have, and time and time again, he always speaks to that sector building out. And in several areas where investments are starting to come, we have to promote it. And there's no other choice but to promote it. We understand that we have persons in the sector that would have operated over the number of years in a particular way. And we want to advance that, add value to that. Food security is a primary focus for Guyana and for the region. We understand even from a global standpoint, there will be a food shortage. How can this gap be filled? By Guyana, we have the vast agricultural land that is available, that is certainly untouched, that is underdeveloped. I know that for a fact that through the Ministry of Agriculture and by extension the President of the country would have explained in its entirety how investing in Guyana will benefit investors. And for the simple reason, the Chamber of Commerce would have established an agriculture committee to collaborate with the government agency, the relevant government agency, to build out a policy, build out a framework that will definitely be enticing to investors. We understand investors are looking for their returns, and this wouldn't happen in isolation again. So as business leaders, we have to be creative and to ensure that businesses benefit from their investment. Guyana has never been at the place of development to where it is right now. I believe that members, and I could only speak for my membership, they are ready to be partner in the process of development. They have started in the upskilling of their resources. They have started to expand on their operations. They have been exposed and continue to be exposed to advanced technologies and methodologies of doing business and from a global standpoint. And this is simply by partnering with international firms. I would say get in and get settled in, partner with a local company, understand the lay of the land, and come in to do business in a very structured manner. This can only get better.
The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry remains Guyana's leading and oldest business support organization, and it supports investment in one of the world's fastest growing economy. Until next time, I've been your host, Lennox Gasper. Thank you for watching.